So I saw Godzilla for a second time tonight. I took my mom. My mom's awesome. She loves Godzilla. She wants to go watch X-Men and Captain America and stuff like that. I have a great mom. I have a great dad too. He loves Star Wars. He quotes Star Wars lines all the time. I'm getting off on a tangent. My parents are awesome. That's all I'm saying. So I'm here to talk to you guys in full spoiler glory about the new Godzilla film. So if you have not seen the film, check out my spoiler-free review, which is on my channel right now. I have warned you. Let's proceed. I really enjoyed Godzilla. Yes, there is a lack of Godzilla for certain parts of it. You're a little bit left like, I wanted a little more Godzilla, and I can agree with that. Although there is about 15 to 16 minutes of Godzilla in this movie, and there's about the same amount of time for Jaws, and the same amount of time for the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, and the same amount of time for Hannibal in The Silence of the Lambs. But those were portioned out a little bit better, and so they kind of felt normal. But in this movie, there are a few moments, like mainly in the second act, where you're like, I would love to see a little more Godzilla, please. And in my original review, I mentioned there's an emotional thing that kind of happens near the beginning that I thought detracted from the depth of the film dramatically. And what that was, I couldn't say it in my review, is Bryan Cranston dies. Because I thought that he added so much to that first act, and he was such a cool character. Much more of an interesting character that I thought than Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. And so I kind of wanted him to stay alive and actually maybe have the movie be a father-son bonding experience. I think that might actually have made for a better movie. I think if they would have just done that with Bryan Cranston, had that be the story of the film, a father-son bonding experience, and then shown a little more of the Hawaii-Honolulu fight that we don't get to see, then I would have given this film an A+. I stand by my A- grade though. When I saw this film a second time, I actually enjoyed it a little bit more the second time, which is very rare for me. I think the reason I did enjoy it a little bit more is because I went into it knowing things like Bryan Cranston dies, and there isn't going to be as much Godzilla at a certain part of this movie than you may want. Since I knew those things, I was able to just sit back and enjoy the ride, and really, this is a magnificently directed movie. There's definitely a lot of Spielbergian flair in there. Some of the Jurassic Park elements that I said were kind of attributing it were like how it opens with a helicopter and the big forest mountain shots and everything. The part where the bus driver wipes the hot air off the window. The part where the Muto's hand comes over and starts to tear at the cables reminded me of the T-Rex hand coming over and ripping the cables down in Jurassic Park. I don't think it's as good of a film as Jurassic Park. I do think there were definitely some visual tributes in there. All in all, I had so much fun with Godzilla because you really actually were put in the role of the humans, and you actually felt like, okay, this is what a human would experience during this. That mesmerizing shot through his goggles as they fell from the plane, where you saw Godzilla and everything coming through the clouds, that blew my mind. See, I knew there was some other creature in the movie, but I knew nothing about it. I stayed away from all clips. I watched the first 2 trailers, and that was it. I had no idea what the thing looked like, so I was able to actually experience all this for the first time in the theater, which is so cool because they really did hide a lot from the trailers. I went back and watched the trailer again, and you don't see a single shot from the third act. So the fire-breathing moments were amazing. Can you imagine if Sony got their hands on this trailer? The trailer would like open with Bryan Cranston's head, the zipper going over him. He's dead. That sucks. The third act of this movie, you know, just sitting in the theater watching these 3 creatures go at it was incredible. The sound effects were so amazing, and I gotta say, the second time, I appreciated Alexander Desplat's score the first time, but the second time I was really able to focus on it. It's so intense, and it really adds a lot to the action in this film. I also love the whole thing about Godzilla being the balancing force that nature offers to balance out this crazy thing between these 2 Muto creatures. That's so cool to me because it just made him seem like this epic thing that just rises when it's needed. But in my original review, I alluded to 2 cheer-worthy moments, and by far, they're the fire-breathing elements. The way he defeats the creature by breathing fire down its throat, I was just like, that is the greatest thing ever. That just looks so cool. But the shot in the film where my eyes actually kind of teared up a little bit in nerdly dork awesomeness was when it panned up Godzilla's legs for the first time, showed his face, and he looked so vicious and fierce, and then he just did that roar. It was so incredible. I just wish they had shown more of the fight. You know, I get it. They don't have to show the whole thing. Just maybe Godzilla bites him and kind of flings him and he flies off or something. You know, just a little bit more right there would have been amazing. The way the film opened with Bryan Cranston losing his wife right in front of him was so intense, and I love the way it set up his character, and that's why I wanted his character to be around for longer, because he was the character that you really from the beginning are with. And it's like, okay, yes, I'm with you, man. You're the bomb and you're a really freaking good actor. I just wanted more of his character because it sets you up for that. You know, it kind of makes you want to experience the film through him. Yes, I wish there was a little bit more Godzilla in the film, but overall I had such enjoyment from how well directed it was, how intense the action was, and the incredible third act. I love how they made Godzilla a good guy. I just love that whole nature balancing out nature type of thing that they made him, and how he just trudges out of San Francisco and he's all tired. He's like, I'm just gonna go swim for a while. Yes, there isn't as much Godzilla in it as you may expect. Some of the human drama isn't as good as it could have been, and that's why I didn't give it a perfect grade. I think if they had boosted those two things, then I would have given it an A+, but it had some problems. But I really enjoyed this film, and I'm really hoping they do a sequel. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla? Godzilla vs. King Kong? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and as always, if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.